you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grabbed my hand, gave me a notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to thank you for joining us for episode 4 of the This, That, and the Third podcast with Shannon, Bam, and Hook. Today, we're going to be discussing the single mom epidemic and who's to blame. Is it the father for not making a commitment to his family or to his kids, or is it the mom for not being more decisive interactions? So I'm sure there are a lot of different opinions on the topic, but we'll get into it. For you viewers, if you guys want to partake in the conversation, make a comment and we'll do our best to address your questions or your statements and get you guys involved. Also, we want to make sure that you share, follow, and subscribe to the pages and the content. Mm-hmm. And you can actually reach us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, and all major podcast platforms. Just search for This, That, and the Third podcast, and we really would appreciate the support. So without further ado, man, we're not going to belabor the point. We're going to go ahead and get into it. So I guess first things first, I think we need to determine, or we need to define single mom. So, Shannon, I want to ask you first, and Bam, we're going to go to you. So, Shannon, your definition, what is a quote-unquote single mother?
A single mom to me is just a woman who lives in a home by herself with her children.
Just that simple, huh?
It's that simple. She's a single. Yes.
Single with no man and no companion in the house. And just her and the kids.
The thing for me is in the house. In the house, because it's a very distinct difference between a father being available to the children and actually living with the children.
Okay. Bam, what say you?
You let them hit it wrong. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Nah, it's like, well, and that what Shannon said, a woman who made bad decisions.
So your definition of single mother is just a woman who made bad decisions.
It's not all of that. It's like, especially if it's a repeated pattern. Yeah. Single mom, man. Yeah, and then a person. No, go ahead, Hook. I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't gonna go too deep into it. But a single mom is the woman who
don't go deep.
Who basically taking care of everything by herself. You know what I'm saying? Trying to juggle all these kids at one time.
Okay. My definition of single mom, honestly, is I think there's a difference between a single mother and a mother who's single. I think there's a major difference.
Mm.
To me, a mother who is single is like somebody like you. She may not be married. She may be in the house with no male presence in the home, but she's getting help from the father. And when I say help, I don't mean just child support, because you can be getting child support and getting nothing else. I mean, they may frequently have the kid. They may give her constant breaks. Like, they may, for all intents and purposes, split time. To me, that's not a single mom. If you have somebody who's actively there helping, so you ain't doing it all alone. You might be in a house by yourself. Yeah, you're paying the bills and everything. That's which you would have even if you didn't have the kids. But I think it's to me, a true single mom is what I grew up with. Like, with my mom, like we had no help, no meal presents, no help. We had uncles and cousins and stuff, but like my dad wasn't giving her money. My dad wasn't taking me places and taking me school shopping and shit like that. So my mom truly was the definition of a single mom. I think that's my definition of single mom. So again, I think there's a huge disparity between a single mom and just a mom who's single. But that's just me. So I think
that's a good point.
I think we all go ahead, Shannon.
I was saying that's fair, but there's some rare circumstances where you can have a mom who is single relationship wise, but not single parenting wise. But for me, my children's father was around. He was a great provider, but I was still a single mom because everything for the children fell on my shoulders.
Everything like what?
Picking them up, dropping them off, doctor's appointments, homework, making sure they had what they needed every day, their activities, all that fell on me. He wouldn't, when he came across to the football game, we would all be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he still spoke to them every day. If they needed anything, he would drop off some cash. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough.
I got you.
Yeah.
I can see that, especially when, like, and again, I want to be clear. Like, when I say that the single mom has help, I mean she has legit help, as in he's helping pick them up from school. He's going to the games. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he might not be in the house, but it's not always going to be up to the mom to take care of those ancillary things. So I think that's, to me, if they have help, like when I say help, I mean the totality of it all. If he's the active in doing those additional duties, again, I don't think, to me, that doesn't constitute a single mom. But based on what you were saying, I do understand, your viewpoint. If you're doing if he's up and financially, cool. But if you're still bearing the brunt of doctor's appointments, school, and all these other things, I do understand. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, but the reality of what you're saying is that when the parent is not a custodial parent, for instance, the school is always going to call the mama that the children live with.
Not necessarily, but go ahead.
Well, in my experience and talking to my friends, like, most of the time, 90% of the time, it's going to be the mother that is the responsible party, even if there's a father that's engaged or around, or even if it comes to like scheduling. In my experience, and like, again, with people I talk to, the mother is always under the guidance that she has to change her schedule. Her schedule revolves around the children. The father has a lot more leeway.
Because a lot of times a woman will deny a lot of access for the man too. So it's a lot of times.
Talking about that, was talking about when you have a father who's present, who's active.
What I'm saying is, a woman sometimes will make it hard for the man to be involved.
I ain't knocking it. I ain't telling you you ain't right. You ain't lying.
Because a lot of times they won't even let the family even get the kid. And they create so much other stress on them. But being a single mom is a flex, though. But go ahead.
No, what I was, and really, that wasn't going to be the first thing I was going to ask you, but I think that's a perfect segue into it. Mm-hmm. So, based on what you were saying, Shannon, and like, do you think that like culture pushes single motherhood, and when I say that, like you mentioned, the school is going to call the mom first. You know what I'm saying? And understandably so, because 9 times out of 10, the mom is going to be the custodial parent, right? So because that's who the child actually lives with, quote unquote. I think it's only natural they're going to call that person first. Now I know that in my case, I'm sure they call the mom first, but if they can't reach her, I'm like, you know what I mean? They're going to call me, you know what I mean? Like off top. But I like, do you think that society pushes that agenda for single motherhood?
I think so. Well,
Fuck my baby daddy.
I think
Fuck my baby daddy.
shut up. I think because it's so prevalent that things have become normal or normalized. Not necessarily that it's being pushed. It's just now so much more, to be a single mom. Whereas before there was a little bit of shame in that. And now it's like, it's so normal. It's been normalized.
Well, being a single mom has been normalized?
Yes. Like you have women who used to wait to have children when they got married. Now, 9 times out of 10, most women are not going to get married because there's a, I don't know what it is, 1 to 8 women, 1 to 8 ratio between men and women. So most women are not going to get married. So if they want to have children, they have to become a single mom.
I agree to an extent. And I guess for me, it's like with single motherhood, like it's to me, like I think some people wear it as like a badge of honor. I think some women, they want to be seen as the do it all mom, or the mom that's doing it for their kids. And I know that I've some like, and out is like I feel that way sometimes when it comes to my daughter. Like, you know what I mean? It just seems like sometimes the moms want to be that person where they're praised for, oh, look at her, she doing it all, and she doing this and she doing that, when it really ain't got to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you have because I think you have to give brothers a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just automatically assume they don't want to be an active parent or an active father. Because I know that all the dudes I hang with, we're all fathers, and we're all great fathers in our own right. You know what I mean? We may not, see the kids as much as we want, but the fact is we're all really good fathers. But you have to give men a chance. Like, don't just automatically assume that because he's a man, he ain't gonna want to be involved and he ain't gonna want to do that. You even have some women, when they tell the man they pregnant, hey, I'm pregnant, I ain't having no abortion either. Like, you don't even know that he even feels that way. So don't just automatically assume that. So I think that society, in a way, has changed our way of thinking to make it seem like, hey, you know what? If you have a baby, you're gonna have to do it on your own.
Well, I even talked to a married woman once. And this may be like just a issue with men. Y'all need to go out there and talk to y'all brothers a little bit more how they behave. But even she was telling me she's been married 28 years. They didn't have a child till they were married for 12 years. And she was even telling me at some point she was still a single mom, even though she was married, because all the responsibility fell on her.
I've heard that. I've heard some people say that, like, even though they're married, like they live in the house with their husband or their mate, but they still bearing the brunt of, they still having to do all these things, and really the only thing he's providing is going to be about the financial support. But being a parent is more than just financial.
Yeah, because there's always this level of separation where the father still can make a choice to come or not come. The mother has to be there, right? When I wake up in the morning, I didn't have a choice, but I had to give him a choice. I had to call and say, hey, it's a recital on Friday. Can you make it? Or are you coming? Or here's the information. But I still had to be there, right? He could decide to come or not come. And that's the difference.
With stuff like that, like, I can't really relate in no way, shape, or form. Am I saying that I'm a perfect dad? Because I'm not. I have my challenges, I have my struggles, I have things I know I need to work on as a dad. But Like with my daughter, with Zoe, she had her volleyball games. I didn't miss a single game. You know what I mean? There were some games where her mom had to work and couldn't come, but I was at every single volleyball game. I had to get off work early and go. And to me, it was a duty. Like it was, because if she like when she looks up in the stands, she want to see one of us. You know what I mean? Like she want to see me or her mom. And there's no way, like if her mom couldn't make it, there's no way I'm gonna say, well, I can't make it this game and have her not have anybody there. So I think that being, especially when you're being the non-custodial parent, especially for us dads, I think that we have to be mindful. We got to make sacrifices too. And I guess I'm more in tune with that because I was raised by a single mom, so I know how hard it is. I know moms have it tough. I know they do. So I try to be, and again, I'm not saying I'm perfect because I know sometimes I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing that shit. But even when I don't feel like doing it, you know what I mean? It's like I may get mad at first, and I know me and the mom have butt heads before, but at the end, if it's the right thing, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
But Hooker, you're a unicorn. Everybody ain't like you, honey. And let me tell you, you're a unicorn. Most men, and then it even adds like another level to it. If a man has multiple children by different women, at that point, it just becomes statistically impossible, right?
Yeah.
And you let that nigga get you pregnant.
we call that the Nick Cannon syndrome.
Yeah, you know this nigga all these kids, and you still let them know to you.
The first baby mama, you might not be the 10th, like
right?
Like
yeah, I know.
You might have got with him and thought it was gonna be forever, and then shit went left, and now
no, motherfuckers be dickmatized. Niggas be fucking the shit out of them. They be dickmatized, and it's like they be so dickmatized that they cloud their judgment.
Please stop acting like you don't be pussy whipped. Stop it. You already said you be making noises and loud.
Yeah, he did. He did say that, didn't he?
You did. Hey. Stop acting like that. Player.
Hey man, it happens to the best of us. It happens.
No, listen. If it's good, it's good. It's good to me. I'm gonna let you know.
Simmer down.
I know, right? Hey, let's
listen. A lot of women let good sex cloud their judgment, and then they end up, because at the end of the day, just like you said, it's not a bad thing to be a single mom. It's like a flex. You know, you get a. I do everything by myself. I take the kids this, about this. They don't do nothing. They sit around and drink their wine and talk to their girlfriend, and they both all can feel each other pain. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit is kind of like, it's kind of encouraging in a way. Like, be a single mom. You don't get that. You know what I'm saying? That struggle is a flex.
No, I ain't never heard no woman, and maybe it's again the women you be around, Bam, because we done talked about that before. I ain't never heard one woman be like, "Yo, when I grow up, I want to be a single mom."
No, it ain't. They don't say it. They don't verbalize it. But if it happens, it's okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay. But what choice do you have once it happens?
I think that what he's and correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, but I think what he's saying is that when it does happen, they don't bitch or complain about it. They just do it. Like they're not out here saying my baby daddy ain't shit or this nigga ain't doing enough for his kids. Like, you know what? I'm doing it by myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
And it's kind of expected. It's kind of expected. They expecting to, do it by themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, you expecting to have to take care of this baby, or DSS gonna come calling. Like, you have no.
And see, the fucked up thing is, we get to the topic. Women are a lot of times to blame for being a single mother. Hey,
Bam, real talk. No, real talk. Hold that thought. I'm gonna get to some of these comments, but I got the perfect follow-up question, and I think this is gonna touch on what you're talking about. So Selena says, I experienced that with my niece. Our access to her is limited or almost non-existent because of the mom. And I think that's going back to what you were saying earlier, Bam, that sometimes the parents, the mom makes it hard or difficult for the dad to be there. And I think a lot of men have experienced that, like it's for whatever reason, the relationship between the two didn't work out and the mom is bitter, or maybe she just don't like the motherfucker, but for whatever reason, she's going to make his life pure D hell. And if he's like, and if he's a caring dad, if he's active, it's going to bother him because he's going to want to see his child. But then, her knowing that, she's going to hold that over his head.
Hold that over his head like a motherfucker.
Men do that too now. It ain't just women. You got some bitter ass men out here too. That now we women
No,
leave.
we're just saying that because we've already agreed that 90% of the single parents are moms, so that's why this, you know what I mean. But yeah, but there are a lot of bitch ass dudes out there. So I mean, just being honest.
Like,
Yeah, plenty of them.
the mama don't want me no more, so I ain't even gonna deal with the kids either. Like it's
Yeah.
But you got girls that have multiple baby daddies. I know a lot of women who have over 3 different baby daddies. Like,
right.
You keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
Like when the first one should have clicked in. Like you should have been like, you know what, I'm done. You know that's like somebody going to jail all the time. After about 2 or 3 times, you looking like, motherfucker, I'm through with you. You know what I'm saying? But with a woman, it's like. I fucked up again. Okay, cool, whatever. They
it is what it is
anyway, so I'm gonna do it myself any fucking way.
And I got to retort to that too. But Shayla says, what about the single mom that have baby daddies that they don't want to be involved? And again, it goes back to the point. Like it happened. You know what I mean? Like it could be any number of reasons. Like I've seen it where, you know, they dating another dude, they got another man, and they want to force that man to be the dad while not even acknowledging the kid's biological dad. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a big one too. So thank you, Shayla. Irisha says, I get Shannon's point about women choosing to have a child because they don't know if they're going to get married. But if they choose to be a single mom, why complain about it? It was a decision. If you aren't prepared to be a parent solo, utilize birth control.
Amen.
Dick massage. They put that dick on them, and they just cloud their judgment. You know what I'm saying?
And what clouds your judgment, Bam? What clouds your judgment? Like this?
No, I make my judgment before I even get involved. I already tell myself I'm a nut in her.
Ah.
Hey, it's a premeditated nut, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So then you okay when that baby comes 9 months later? You good with it?
No, my pull-out game is serious. I don't, you know.
So let me ask y'all, right? So now,
that just be serial baby givers.
So getting to that point, right? So, Bam, I'm gonna start with you. Then I want Shannon. I want you to take it. So, do you guys think it's fair for women to expect men to be fathers when they don't want to be? Now, before you answer, what I say by that is, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but it is what it is. I've never been one to hold my tongue. When procreation occurs, right? When a woman's pregnant, a woman always has an out. A woman can say, you know what? I don't want this child. I'm going to have an abortion. Right. And we're all pro-choice, and I am too. I'm pro-choice. That's your body. You do what you want to do. So they automatically have an out if they don't want to be. Conversely, if a man gets a woman pregnant, he gotta go by whatever she say. You know what I'm saying? Like if he makes it known up top, you know what? I don't want to be a dad. I can't afford it. I can't do this. I can't do that. No, I'm gonna have this baby. And so this man done said, I don't want to be a dad, but when the baby comes, you're gonna take him to child support court to take care of something that he don't want to do. Now, me personally, and before y'all comment, I'm gonna just say for me, I think that if a woman gets pregnant and if she's not ready to take care of that child solo, if she's not able to afford to take care of the child, she may want to consider whether or not she want to have it. Because I don't think I don't think it's fair that they have to force a parent to be a parent. Now, because I'm a dad, because I'm active, I think it's a man's responsibility. So I want to be clear. If a man makes a child, it's his responsibility to take care of that child. I firmly believe that. However, pause. If you don't want to be a dad, I don't think that you should have to force him and have his wages garnished and force him to take care of something that he ain't want. But Bam, what do you think about the question? Do you think that it's fair that women to be fathers?
You just stole everything I was basically about to say. I was about to come with don't women got pro-choice? Like, we don't have no choice. Y'all have pro-choice. We don't have no choice in this. So at the end of the day, I've been in situations where I had got this girl pregnant, right? And to be honest with you, I'm glad she did what she did, but I wanted the kid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I want to, she went behind my back and had an abortion. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of hurt by it a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's your body. If you feel like you want to do, you can do it. But if I come along and be like, yo, my first kid, I really didn't want to have a child. My only child I only got one. I was like, I don't want to have, you know what I'm saying? Not right now. You know what I'm saying? But she was so hard up to have that kid. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just like Hook said, it's our responsibility. We have to take care of responsibility. Now, and that's when the bullshit comes in. Now she got the kid. Now she don't want to. She want to be like, this is my baby. This is my daughter. This is my. I really ain't got no say so in the shit. Cause now we got to go to court. We got to go through all the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, I feel like it's basically like when a woman be a single mother, it's really up to her. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you to have the child or not. If you don't want to have that child, then it is what it is. You're going to go get an abortion and go on with your life. With us, we have to sit there and we have to man the fuck up.
Right. And Shannon, before you go, there are two comments that I'm going to address also. Sheila says it's called a condom. Indeed. So I think that you should take the necessary precautions. Felicia says he should take the necessary precautions not to become a dad. Indeed. So both the man and the woman should take those precautions. But again, once the act occurs and once the woman's pregnant, the woman still gotten out, even though she was equally irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't him. It was both of them. But still, she has that out to say, you know what? I don't want to be a parent. I personally still don't think that's right. So and again, I want to be clear. Do I think that men should take care of their responsibility? Yep. Do I think that if you don't want to be a parent, you should wear a condom or be on birth control? I absolutely do. But once the act occurs, the fact remains the woman still got it. She can just simply say, I don't want a child, and society's going to say, oh, that's her party, that's his choice, that's her choice. But when the man say that, he a deadbeat because he just made the same decision the woman did, but he ain't the one that got to go out and have the abortion. But Shannon, go ahead.
I just feel like we shouldn't talk about having abortions so cavalierly, like, you know, like
it's a reality though, Shannon. It's a reality.
Not an easy choice for a woman to make. There are exceptions to the rule. Now I ain't gonna say there ain't no women out there doing abortion.
I know got bodies.
Stocks, but most women, that's a tough decision. And for most women, even if we're pro-choice, like for me personally, I would never have an abortion. Do I understand that it's okay if someone else chooses to? Yeah, but I would never have an abortion. So when I found out I was pregnant, I went to the doctor because I thought I was sick. I was losing weight. I was 18 years old and they told me, Miss O'Berry, you know you're pregnant. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? Unexpected. I wasn't expecting it, but there was no possible way I was gonna have an abortion. Right? It's like I laid down and did the deed. I'm gonna be a woman and take care of my child. Like that's the end story. So saying you have a choice, a woman can just go have an abortion is not really true.
And when I say that, like I personally know women that have had 7 or 8 abortions.
Right.
So at what point, if they had that many abortions, it is a choice at that point. You know what I mean?
There are not women out there, but I don't personally believe that the majority of women are like that.
Right.
But we're not talking about that.
And I think this is the thing when we talk about and I don't want to get off course because I mean this obviously when you talk the topic ain't abortion, it's about single motherhood, but this is simply a facet of it. But I guess for me personally, it's kind of like it may sound like we're talking about it cavalierly, and we know that like there are exceptions to everything. So we're not saying every single woman has an abortion because there are different reasons you have an abortion. It could be maybe you just honestly can't afford it, and that's fine. Maybe it's a medical issue. Maybe maybe you have a some type of gene that maybe if you have a baby, you scared they may inherit that gene. So there are a lot of things that weigh into that. But I'm more so talking about the women that are healthy and they have a choice and they just opt to have 75 million abortions. But I guess getting back to the point, to the topic, I don't think that is fair that you should force a man to do something that he didn't want to have. He didn't want to have nothing to do with. I don't think that a man should be called a deadbeat simply because he acknowledged, listen, I can't afford it. I'm not going to be able to be there. Like my lifestyle, my job won't allow me to do it. But the woman may or may not care. And then when the baby's here, now you expecting the man to do the same things that he already said he can't do. I don't think that's fair.
And then you put him on child support, and now he got that hanging over his head. It's a fucked up thing for a man, man. We in a fucked up position.
If you don't want to be out here potentially having babies with women because you're not ready, then you should also be taking better precautions when you have sex with women. Because if you have sex with a woman and you ejaculate in her vagina, there's a possibility she could.
Shannon, there's both ways. That it goes both ways. Like
for a man from yes, it goes both ways. That's what I'm saying. Like when I found out I was pregnant, it was hey, I know I did the deed. I did what I did. I'm not going to sit here and say that I got it out now. I can just go have an abortion. So again, the same responsibility falls on a man. You can't say that you don't think it's fair for him to be made to pay child support. He had the same choice. He had the same choices.
Listen, you got women that are trapping niggas.
Have to lay in that bed.
No, it's
equal irresponsibility.
When I say it's not fair, it's not monolithic. It's not like every single situation. When I say it's not fair, is when the woman has a choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact remains, if there are no other circumstances, right? Let's say she's healthy, that she just don't want the baby. And we know it happens. She just don't want the baby. Like no one's out here saying you a horrible person because you aborted the child. They're saying, oh, that's her choice, that's her body. But when the man is saying the exact same thing, the only problem is the man is not carrying the baby, so he can't opt out of being the father. We don't have that option. And again, I'm not saying that a man should opt out. I want to be clear because I know sometimes people tend to misconstrue your words. I'm on record saying a man needs to man up and do what the hell he got to do for his children. But if he makes it known that he's not able to, that he don't want to be a father, I don't think it should be forced on him. When I found out that Zoe's mom was pregnant, was I happy? Hell no. There ain't nothing that we planned, but not once did I ever say, man, I ain't gonna do nothing for this baby. To me, I'm thinking, what the fuck I'm gonna do with a kid? Because I ain't know nothing about, you know what I'm saying? So then I started doing research, started asking my cousins, my brother, okay, what do I do when this happens? You know what I'm saying? Talking to my mom, my sister, and really starting to prepare. But every man ain't gonna do that. But the same thing is, I still don't think it's right that he should automatically just be expected to do something that he made it up known off top that he don't want to do.
I mean, I can feel that. I can feel that. But at what point does that become reality? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point?
When that baby get here?
I mean, is that something you talk about before you have sex with each other? Or do you talk about that once you realize that, oh Lord, we done fucked up and I'm pregnant. There's a baby.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
It's the heat of the moment.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that Planned Parenthood is even in our community. I don't think that's something that's started in the community. I don't think that, like I know so many people. It's not like, all the people I know that have kids. I don't know anybody that actually sat down and planned, okay, we're gonna have a child and we're gonna do this. It's like they laid down, they did the do, and then they manned up or womaned up and they have the kid. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's anything that's planned. So,
but in reality, Hook, that's normally how it happens. So how I know that you say women have choices because abortion is a thing. So I have a choice because there's this medical procedure I can go get and have an abortion. I get what you're saying. But like you're saying, most of us not planning out pregnancies. We're not having conversations before we have sex with each other to say, how you feel about children? Do you want children? Are you going to help take care of children? That's not happening. Those conversations are happening after everybody's shocked as hell.
We're being reactive, so we don't think about it until we're in that situation. So now we're like, oh damn, I should have done X, Y, and Z. I shouldn't have done that, or what are we gonna do now? But like, ain't like you meeting somebody, y'all about to have sex, and you say, hey, so what are we gonna do if you end up pregnant? You know what I'm saying? We just like, it's like,
tell me beforehand, don't tell me after the fact. Like the opportunity is gone. Because the same way I'm sitting here having a woman up for my responsibilities, I may not want this damn baby. I may not want to be a mama. If you gonna have to man up to yours, and I don't see anything unfair about that. If
Right.
you're not having those conversations up front, then what the hell you mean? You get to just decide you don't want to take care of this thing we done created.
Yeah, and that's why I think that, you know, again, we don't know, for at least in the way that I was raised, that like having kids is not something that we just talked about in terms of planning or you know, I want to have X amount of kids, and you know, you're planning it out. Like, you know, you see these storybook couples and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna start having sex in January so the baby can be born in, you know what I mean? So we ain't doing that. We just laying down fucking, and then whatever happened, then we deal with it when the consequences get here. But to both of y'all points, I think that we need to be more cognizant and mindful, and really having those conversations. We need to be more proactive than reactive.
Yeah, because at that point, ain't nobody got no choices. Like, what? This baby is coming. This baby's on the way. This baby got to eat. This baby got to have somewhere to live. This baby need medical care, shoes, college. Like, what you mean?
You talking about a vasectomy? Can you undo a vasectomy?
I don't know.
Like at the time, you say you're not prepared to have a baby. Maybe later on in life you want to have a baby. So why the fuck do you want to get clipped? Like, come on, man.
And here's my thing, to his point, right? Because he says men choose to have a vasectomy if they know they don't want to be a father or can't afford to take care of a child. It should not always fall on the women. And again, I get his point. But again, what I'm saying is, having a vasectomy, but here's the thing: having the vasectomy, that's being proactive, right? We're talking about is unplanned and it's here, and now you have a choice to make. You know what I mean? And all I'm saying is, a woman can say, you know what, I don't want to have no more babies. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this baby. They can say that, but a man can say, man, I can afford this baby. But if the woman say otherwise, there's nothing that we can do to combat that.
We can do about it.
Challenge that, because I like what Ken is talking about. So if you are a man and you already know that you don't want to have children, why wouldn't you go?
But listen.
We want kids. We just want one with you.
We don't want no one with you. We don't want one right now.
He said. You said.
No. If you don't want a kid in life, period. But people change their minds. You can't. That's a decision that's gonna affect your life for the rest of your life. So you're not gonna sit here and be like, you might be like, I don't want no kids, but then later on, something might happen in your life, and you look like, damn, I do want some kids. Now I'm gonna clip my motherfucking shit.
So having an abortion is a decision that can affect the rest
of your life. But listen, you can keep making that decision over and over. With a vasectomy, you're fucking done.
Like Nene and Selena said, they said vasectomies can be undone. So I mean, it's doable. But
people afford to do that, and you gonna go through all that? Come on, man.
I heard it.
Just put a condom on. Pull out.
Local anesthesia in about 10 minutes. It's a quick little tip.
I don't know. I'm not getting no vasectomy.
Everybody happy. We can be out here raw dogging it for days, and nobody is all right. We good.
But at the end of the day, Shannon, let's be honest. At the end of the day, you women ultimately have the upper hand when it comes to that.
Hey, I rocks with Selena. She says, unless there was a discussion, we want a baby, then men should not be forced to be involved if you don't want to. So if you decide that's what you want to do, then be prepared to take on all the responsibility yourself. And that's all I'm saying. If a woman want to have a baby, like I don't think, and this is me personally, and I don't say it for selfish reasons, because anything can happen. Let's say that you have a baby and the man passes away or becomes, for whatever reason, he can't assist you. Then you still got to do it by yourself. So I just think that if anybody has a kid, whether it's the man becoming a custodial parent, or if it's the woman having a baby, I think that you shouldn't take on that responsibility if you know you're going to need help and you can't do it by yourself.
Shout out to Selena. That's my bestie. But look, I'm going to call you after this because that's some bullshit.
You listen. See, that's the thing about women, accountability. They don't
I'm gonna call you after this, boo. Nah. We ain't, no.
And again, and Chantel says, then use birth control if you don't want a kid. Simple. And again, I agree with everything y'all saying. I agree with, but the fact remains, if a man and a woman are equally irresponsible and the baby comes here, somebody got to out and somebody don't. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, ain't nobody want to use no condom, man. You can't get off on no condom, man. You got to feel that pussy.
You said what?
Out.
Ain't nobody want to use no condom, man. You want to feel that pussy, man. Ain't nobody want to use a condom, man. How many times you done had sex you couldn't even get off because the condom was on?
Man, damn my eye. Bruh.
Listen. So that's what people. I'm telling you, people don't like to use protection, man. You know that shit. You know, if you continue to have sex with somebody, I'm gonna say like the third or fourth time, that condom is coming off.
And that's when the babies come. And don't tell me later.
No, my pullout game, my pullout game is exquisite.
Pullout don't work, boy. Have you ever heard of
You crazy? I ain't had a baby. I ain't got a girl pregnant unless I wanted to.
Pre-cum got more sperm in it than actual ejaculation. So pullout don't work. That method don't work, honey.
No, Shannon, I disagree. The pull-out method definitely works.
It does work. I'll tell you, it worked for me.
Now,
Listen,
it's not 100% foolproof.
No, it's not 100% foolproof, but it gets the job done sometimes.
Yeah, you know, pre-cum bam. It's a thing.
I know pre-cum. Listen, I have pre-cum in my dick before we even fuck. What are you talking about? But it's not as white as the regular shit.
Boy,
and that's why you finna have some new baby mamas. You keep on going.
Can you have any more kids?
Hell no.
I said, you give me a little boy?
Hell no.
Now, Celine, if you still on, check your inbox. So let me see here. All right, so I think we done beat up on the females long enough. So I want to ask you a question that pertains to the men. How big of a factor do you think abandonment is when it comes to single parenthood? Do you think that a lot of fathers, there's like an abandonment issue, or how do you guys feel about that?
I feel like a lot of times the women are running the men off. To be honest with you, but I think it's about 20% of the dudes that just don't give a fuck, just don't care. But I think the rest of the people it's a lot of motherfuckers that really want to do for their kids, but the woman make it so hard for them sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately y'all feel like y'all have the more control with the kid. Because y'all feel like y'all walk around for 8 months and it's your baby. So in a lot of cases, the women, like you said, the women get contacted. They always gonna call the mother. The mother just gets a lot of leeway when it comes to that. When they got the kid, they don't want the father to be around. They don't want the father's family. It's a lot of that shit going on, man. A lot of women run good niggas off.
I don't think any woman should run a man off when he wants to be a father to his child. When he really wants to be in that child's life in a meaningful way. You know what I'm saying? So if you coming with some bullshit, like here, I'm in the house, you keep telling my kid you're going to pick them up on Saturday, and every Saturday morning they sitting at the door. And now I got to deal with that shit all the time. There's going to come a point when I'm going to be like, yo, you can't come. And it ain't about the fact that I'm trying to be a bad person to the daddy. It's about I'm now trying to protect the child, right? And protect the household, because now every Saturday morning I got to shore this child back up because the daddy didn't show up, because that was a choice for him. So it's not always about like somebody just trying to be a bad mom or run the man off. But if she sees certain things in that man and how he behaves, maybe he got 3 other kids, and sometimes he comes.
She shouldn't have got pregnant by him. Why the fuck would you get pregnant by a nigga like that? Why?
Like I said, maybe she the first baby mama, right? Maybe she the first baby mama. So just slow down.
No. You didn't say that. What you saying now is she had 2 prior kids. He had 2 prior kids, and now.
No, I said he have 2 other kids. I didn't say prior. You read.
Okay, it don't matter. It don't matter. But she know you interacting. You're interacting with this man. You see that this man doesn't spend any time with his kids. You see this man doesn't really do much because he's always with you. He doesn't even call to check up on his kids. Don't do none of that. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna let this man swell your stomach up.
If that's the thing, but say I'm just speaking from she the first baby mama, right? He done went out and did all kind of other stuff after her, right? if you are the kind of father, if you're not consistent, if you're the same kind of father as you was a mate, right? That made us not be able to work out in a relationship, that's a problem too. If you're not consistent, if you're not nurturing, if you're not actually concerned about the well-being of the child, you just want to check the box and say I showed up. All those things are things. So you can't just be like women run off fathers. Sometimes fathers ain't worth fuck.
Hey, before I let Selena get some stuff off her chest. What I will say is, Shannon, if you've never been a non-custodial parent, you don't understand just how stressful a life that can be. You know what I'm saying? And I say this with the utmost sincerity, because as being the non-custodial parent, you have little control over anything. You know what I'm saying? And I can, as much as I love my kids, I've always said I totally understand why some dudes be like, you know what, fuck it, I ain't doing nothing. I totally understand it. Now, even with my frustration, I'm never going to abandon my seat. I'm never going to do that. I might get pissed off, might get mad, but I'm not going to do that. But I can honestly see why some men, because sometimes you feel like it's really not worth the fight. You know what I'm saying? I know when I first went to court for child support, you know what I mean? I went in there and it's like, I sat down, I looked at my right, my left, I looked at my right. I was like, I ain't supposed to be in this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we went up there, went to the mediator, and she's looking at me with these eyes, like, cause she could tell that I was a decent guy, you know what I'm saying? But like, I went there, they didn't want to hear nothing I had to say. You have no rights. They go in there, they go to typing in the calculator, give me your pay stub. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have no control, so you it don't even matter what you did beforehand. None of that matters. So it's frustrating. So I can honestly understand why some dudes feel that way. But I'm off my soapbox now. So Selena, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. So you have some stuff you want to get off your chest, I understand.
So I'm gonna premise I'm not a mama by any means. I've been in a journey of friends that are single mom. This is the best single mom that I know on this platform right here. But in terms of the comment I made about, you know, agreeing with Hook on if the man decides he don't want to and we decide, hey, we want to move forward with it, being mad and upset and with him because he don't want to participate the way that we want him to show up, it's unfair because we've made that decision. Yeah, okay, we both laid down together, right? And I know there's people that they were on birth control and things happened. I wasn't one of them people. I was on birth control from the time I was 13. Now, transparent, I'm not going to shame on it or whatever. When I was 15, I had an abortion because my mom was like, no, we're not repeating the cycle. She was like, we're absolutely not doing this. But after that, and it was me intentionally doing it, thinking, oh, I'm in love with my boyfriend. And now when I see him, I be like, thank God my mama was like, we ain't doing this shit. Because it would just probably not turned out to be good.
Hi, friend. How you say
Mama knows best.
So in that respect, but I feel like I had that revelation later on as some people that I know that they made the decision to have a baby and the guy told them they didn't want to, but now they're complaining and bitching about him not showing up the way he should. Well, he told you he didn't want to do it. When somebody don't want to do it, they're not going to show up the way that they do it. And I have guy friends, including my brother. My brother is a great father. My brother was a great father to a bonus child. But to me, it's a difference in how a man that wants to be a dad, how they show up and parent, right, versus the one that's forced to do it. It's just totally different. And so for me, seeing those two disparities of, i.e., my dad wasn't an active dad or whatever, and even though him and my mom was married, they were young, so I'm sure it wasn't something they really sat down and planned. That's how I came to that revelation of it's a difference in how, I ain't gonna say all men, but that a lot of them show up when they really, that's all they ever wanted was to be a dad. Versus when, it happens, okay, and then you have the examples of how you hook, you're saying you got in there and you like, hey, let me try to figure out how to be the best dad that I can be. But I don't think it's fair then that you're mad if this person don't want to participate. You're gonna have to accept what they give you, little as it may or may not be, and do what you need to do. And my mom did as a single mom. My dad wasn't there. And it wasn't a badge of honor. She just did what she had to do. Like Shannon said, they don't get a choice, right? Even if it was a case of, maybe the people agreed to have the baby together, and now he still gets the option to kind of decide when he wants to show up and when he don't.
And that's why when I say that I have the utmost respect for women, I do, because of my mom is one of the strongest people that I know. And, and I asked her when I got older, I'm like, why you never took my dad to the court? Why you never, you just let him? Because the weird thing is my dad lived the street over. So it's not like I passed by his house going to school every day. You know what I'm saying? But she said, pretty much just echoing what Selena said, she was like, y'all been my kids. She was like, I had y'all, so I had to do what I had to do. So, and that's why, even though I didn't necessarily plan on being a dad or want to be a dad, but when the opportunity came, I naturally fell into it. Because again, I understand how difficult it is. And I have the utmost respect for any woman doing it by herself. I know it's hard. And I really wish that men would step up. But to me and Bam's point earlier, women don't always make it easy for us to do so.
Well,
and a lot of that has to do with because in the first case, we didn't even want to be there in the first place. So to Selena's point, like, how you want me to be the super dad when I ain't even want the child to begin with? So you can't expect something from, you can't expect me to be outside myself. You know what I'm saying?
But Hook, what you there is that duty. It's a duty. There are a lot of things you do in life that you agree. You didn't plan.
It becomes frustrating when you're dealing with a bitter baby mother. When you have somebody like me, I didn't really want to have a kid, but at the same time, I was excited about having the kid. I'm already visualizing me talking to my baby, rocking her to sleep, all this whole nine. But she wanted to be in control of the baby. Like from the beginning, she didn't let me sign the birth certificate. This is my new first kid. I don't know what's going on. I didn't sign the birth certificate. They were like, when I want to come get my daughter, I had to go through all kind of loops and bullshit to deal with it just to get my fucking kid. Like, and you got somebody who wants to be, even when I wasn't financially I couldn't financially do it because I'm living on my own. You live with your mother. I still want to spend time. I still want to come get my daughter, come bring her with me, come spend some time with me and my family. But it just wasn't that. She made it so hard. And I see why a lot of niggas give the fuck up and be like, you know what? Fuck that shit. You do that. You want to deal with that shit on your fucking own. You know what I'm saying? Who's willing to be a good father, but you are just putting up roadblocks every fucking where. It is hard.
It goes both ways. Like, there are women out there who really want to let the man be a father, and they're choosing not to. And then there are women out there that have men that want to be good fathers, and the men are choosing not to. So it really is about, like I said, what Hook was saying, people taking on saying, I created this, even though I may not have wanted it, but now it's my duty to take care of this human being that I've created.
Now listen, right? the only people I think have it tougher than single moms are non-custodial dads who want to be dads.
Right.
And I say that because the person who lives most stress-free is the deadbeat dad who ain't even worrying about shit. You can cuss him out, you can say what you want, but he ain't even he ain't worrying about he living good over there. He ain't on child support, he ain't on none of this. But
he like, I ain't worried about nothing.
Right, But the
But
people
a nigga who want to be in their life, that shit is stressful.
And because and I won't say all women, but a lot of women know that because the man wants to be active, they know that their soft point or the weak point is their child. I can't get to him this way. I'm gonna get to him through his child. You know what I mean?
You know what? I gotta meet these women because Lord have mercy.
No, listen. The thing is, you won't know because you don't hear both sides of the story. You might get just one side of the story. You're not getting sides from the man.
And to that point,
I've seen both sides. I've seen both sides of the dad wanting to be there and the mom making him go through all this stuff. And the dad saying basically like you're saying, I'm gonna give up. I'll sign my rights away. You know what I'm saying? I want to deal with this. Like, you know, and the mom, I think for a lot of moms that do that, females that do that it's because they're hurt and they're bitter because either he didn't do what he was supposed to do or some other things he cheated. And once they get to the point of realizing the relationship with the man has nothing to do with the relationship with the child. Those are different dynamics. So you can be a great dad, but a fucked up partner. You can be a good partner, but a bad dad. And so I think once people can compartmentalize that, all these relationships where people have kids or whatever, it will make co-parenting so much better. Because if he's a great dad, but he was a fucked up man to you, you got to let that go and let him be the great dad.
But you still dealing with you just dealing with human beings and people get into their feelings and there's no way around that. That shit sound good on paper, but if you dealing with a fucked up individual, it ain't no way to fuck around it.
You shouldn't have fucked them, Bam. That's the other thing. Knowing a person's character before you lay down with them.
Hey, I can't help that the motherfucker got good pussy and not nut in her. I can't help it.
See.
I can't help it.
You see, baby daddies. You the baby daddy. You the baby daddy.
And listen, and you know, and it play both ways. Because you be fucking, she be like, don't put. I want you to nut in me. You know what I'm saying? It be shit like that.
You got a choice.
In the heat of the moment. And listen. You know, you cannot make conscious decisions when you're under duress. It just ain't gonna happen.
You better try.
When you can't even, if you sign a document and you under duress, that document is null and void. You cannot make conscious decisions.
And listen, it's different when that baby get here. But when that baby get here, that baby ain't gonna be null and void. It's gonna be alive and breathing. It's gonna be completely different.
All the blood left your brain and went somewhere else.
Yes, you're not thinking logical, man. You're not thinking straight. You know.
This nigga said under duress. Hey, but I want to challenge all the women out there, right?
Yeah.
I want to normalize women telling their homegirls that sometimes their homegirls may be the problem. Because what you have a lot of is what they'll do is their homegirl will go there. Yeah, he ain't doing this for my baby. He ain't doing that. He a horrible person. He that. Yeah, girl, you right. You just don't worry about it. Do it on your own. You know, you're getting bad advice. Like sometimes you gotta let the homegirl like, look, man, this man doing everything he can. You need to go ahead and cut that man a break. But don't sit there and try just enable them and encourage that when you know you got a decent dude out there trying to do the right thing.
And we need to normalize men telling other men.
Shannon, we do it. I'll be honest, we do it. We do it all the time.
We do that
because the thing is, y'all don't hear about it because when we check our friends, we check them in private. We don't go on and blast them. It's like if I know my homeboy out there fucking up, if he cheating on his girlfriend, if he's not doing right by his kids, I'm gonna say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? I saw a girl today. She said you ain't doing X, Y, and Z. What's going on, man? Like, and he's like, yeah, man, you know, like, hey, bro, listen, I'm in the same situation. This is what you need to do. Like, don't sit here and make excuses for it. So men do that often, but women, they won't give us credit because they don't see it. Because I ain't about to check my homeboy in front of a room full of people. I'm gonna give him a call when we can talk one-on-one.
I'm not gonna put his business. I'm not gonna put his business out there like that. We get together.
And why is it still happening so much?
Because
They ain't my
niggas
friends.
think what they did. Niggas think what they did.
Hey, them ain't my friends. Them they friends. So let them talk to them.
Yeah, because if I heard other men say the same thing. We do check our homeboys. We do check. How the hell?
Y'all listen. Y'all women.
Check them,
Listen.
and then give them the key to y'all apartment so they can go fuck another bitch at your house.
Nah, ain't nobody doing that. No,
I
sir.
wish
I
y'all could.
have told my friends, because my mom never got child support from my dad, but that never stopped her and my mom never talked bad about him or whatever. I formed my own opinion.
Right.
Whenever he decided he wanted to show up, she'll let me go. And then when he didn't, he didn't. So I've had conversations with friends of, okay, because he's not paying child support, that don't mean don't let him see the child if he want to see the child. Because again, the child don't care about that. The child
Right.
is time.
Right.
So I'm not sure. My circle of friends, we hold each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand.
I don't believe that. You let Shannon get away with a lot of bullshit today.
Hey, Bam, I was about to say the same thing.
No. Did y'all not hear her when she came on? She said this is one of the best single moms that she knows.
No, she said that. We heard her.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
No, okay. So let me tell you how me and Shannon met. We worked together years, what, 24 years, 25 years ago at Blue Cross?
Yeah.
And
you about 50? You about 50?
I am. Don't I look good?
You look good for 50. She got that welfare phone.
You're on mute. Selena, you muted. She's sitting there talking. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Thank you, Chris.
Y'all done broke her microphone.
Listen, Chris ain't got no dog in
She'll
this
be coming back.
Chris ain't got no dog in this fight.
Yes, she did. She knows what's up.
Hey, Chris must be came on late. That's what happened.
Because one thing I know, but Shannon, you got to start siding with the women.
No, I'm taking for the women. I'm gonna take it for my homegirls, but I also take it for dudes because, like,
I never heard it.
I do. I recognize that there are really good men out there, and I recognize that there's some women that fuck over really good men and don't let really good be fathers to their children. I recognize all that. Like I was gonna say, when me and my kid's dad broke up, you know, we went through a tumultuous time, but I knew what lifestyle I wanted for my children. So like I took the thing, whatever they were going to be provided for by me, and whatever he did was icing on the cake. So that took away like all the animosity, all the bitter feelings, all the arguments, all the like me worried about him coming through. I ain't worried about that. I posted his number on the refrigerator and taught the kids how to dial his number. Okay.
That's what's up.
And now to this day, him and I best of friends. He sent me $500 yesterday for Mother's Day.
Look, they came a long way.
Ain't no child support. And our kids,
that was back child support. No, I'm playing.
And we still cool. Like we were able to co-parent and get through and be good with each other.
Hey, Selena, what were you saying before you got cut off?
I was saying she was a person that was on her grind. Like she finished her degree in 2.5 years with 2 kids, working, going to Tech, going to USC, going to Benedict, trying to make sure she gets it done. And like I said, seeing that growth of what she's talking about with her kid's father from the tumultuous times of I coming to that revelation of, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do, and whatever he do is icing on the cake, but not letting that interfere with the relationship that he can have with his kids. And like I said, they didn't came a mighty long way.
Hey, how do you say it? Thank God for growth, right?
Thank God. Yeah.
Hey, and this has been a great conversation, y'all. I really appreciate y'all for coming on. I really do. And before we peel out, Selena, I know you came in at the last minute, but we normally give our final thoughts at the end. So I am going to allow you to do yours now. So this is an impromptu Selena-ism. So if you would, go ahead and give the viewers your final thoughts.
For our people, quit making decisions that's going to make your life harder than what it needs to be. That could apply to a lot of things,
including.
That's short, sweet, and to the point, for real. All right, Shannon, let's get your Shannonism.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna go back to what you said, Hook. It's all about duty. I was taking responsibility for what happens in our lives, whether we want it to happen or whether we don't want it to happen. Like, if you once you lay down in bed with someone, the truth of the matter of it is you can create another life, whether you want it to or not. So you just got to be able to accept the duty that you create from the life that you the mistakes that happen in your life.
Absolutely. All right, Bam, let's get to Bamism, brother.
Start making irrational decisions when you're under duress. But listen, on a real note, this work for both ways. Really get to know your partner first before y'all really get that deep into things. You know what I'm saying? Try to get to know the person and then say you got to communicate, because you want to find out that at least if this person gonna be a good father, even if y'all don't be together, But you just need to get to know the person and stop making irrational decisions, man. When you got them, in the heat of things, you know what I'm saying? Because you talking about taking precautions, that shit is bullshit. Motherfuckers want that raw sex, you know what I'm saying? But know your partner, man, and just make smart decisions, because that little 1 second of pleasure can cause you a lifetime of fucking pain.
Yeah, amen, brother. All right, man. And for my hookism is really quite simple. Know who you're laying down with. I think that's really going to be the key thing. Because the sex might be great, it might be the best you ever had, but the fact is once that baby gets here, it does tend to complicate things. And just because you make a great sex partner or a great boyfriend and girlfriend doesn't mean you're going to be a great parent. And that's just life. It's a tough pill to swallow. And I know that I may have taken some people aback when I say that, when I talked about abortion. And again, I'm not saying that I want to be crystal clear. I want to make sure that I'm clear on that. I am pro-choice. So by all means, if whatever you want to do is, I really don't care. But all that I'm saying is that when you do get pregnant, then you have a choice to make. And if you're not able, if you feel you're not able to take care of that kid by yourself, I think you may need to rethink some things. And not just saying that. And what I'm saying is, it may not have nothing to do with you. It may have to do with the other party. They might just not be a good fit for a parent. You know what I mean? Do you really want to go through 18 plus years of dealing with this asshole that you know what I'm saying, that you really don't want to have anything else to do with other than the fact that y'all got a kid together? Again, I'm not advocating for abortion, but I'm saying there is a choice to make. But I still stand by my original statement. Men don't have an out. When the baby comes, when the woman get pregnant, we don't have an out. However, I do believe that as a man who grew up without a father, I think that any man that has a baby need to be there in whatever capacity that is. If you can't be financially, spend time with your kid. You know what I'm saying? If you're not available to spend time, then, if you're financially able to do that, but do whatever you can do. I understand it's difficult. I understand more than others. It is hard to be a non-custodial dad. But when you lay down and that baby get here, you have a duty, you have responsibility, and that's just facts and that's life. But again, this was a great conversation, man, and I thank all of you guys for coming on. Selena, thank you for the
thank you for letting me crash.
No problem. So you already know, once you own, we always gonna ask you back. So just look for the invite in the future, and we'll be back again in another couple of weeks, man. So until then, man, everybody take care. But again, this was a great conversation. But until next time, man, we'll see y'all.